Hello everybody, welcome back to King Note Gaming. It is I, King Note, and today we are building again on my island of Lacrimosa because I have had way too much inspiration for this island recently, and hopefully I'll get to my other ones, but this island is probably my favorite that I'm working on right now. Anyway, we are going to be working on the neighborhood or cul-de-sac build for the island. I have a couple of huge builds coming on this island. One of them being the hospital, one being the school, one being the nuclear facility that burned out, which will be so fun to do. But I figured it was time to give my villagers a nice place to live, or a nice place to rest in peace. If you saw my last video about Lacrimosa. And one of my other builds on this island is going to be a graveyard. I'm going to be putting all of their pictures on there. And here I'm just adjusting the path. I spent hours and hours and hours, like, putting down path on my entire island. So, that was fun. You don't need to see all of that part, but I'm just laying down some more brick path here. The cul-de-sac build is pretty simplistic, you know, just like a cul-de-sac in real life, kind of akin to an American one. When I was a kid, down the street from where I lived, there was a cul-de-sac, and I had friends there, so I'd hang out at one of those all the time. It also makes me think of the cartoon Ed, Edd and Eddy, which is completely random, but it's fitting for this because the kids lived on a cul-de-sac. Anyway, I created that little like circular road in the center for like places for kids to play or whatever. Well, where kids used to play. And of course, I'm going to put out a million decayed trees because that's probably one of the most used items on this island thus far and will continue to be. I also have some curved streetlights, which I think look really nice as well. And before you ask, yes, there is electricity here still because, see, this is a lore thing, because the nuclear energy that exploded from the facility just keeps it going to this day. Is that really 100% scientifically accurate? No, but it's my island and I make the rules. So, yeah. Anyway, here I'm putting in like some toys and stuff. I might eventually change that ball catcher into basketballs to make it like make more sense. But for right now, it's volleyballs. Putting out some like random stuff that the villagers would have while living here, and constantly getting items out of my shed. Which, oh man, I can't. How did we survive pre 2.0 without the storage shed? I really don't know, man. I was having a conversation with my friend the other day, and we were talking about, I have a bunch of just like little crafting areas on my island of Fugue because it's my main island and I craft a lot there. And back in the day, people would make little workshop areas on their islands where they would put out like a crafting bench and a couple of like usually iron work tables or like any kind of table you could get a hold of easily and just put loose materials out there because we didn't want to have to keep going into our houses every 2 seconds. Which, God, that's a throwback. Which is weird because that was only 4 years ago, which makes it even weirder. Oh, I just wanted to include this cute little conversation because Eunice and Muffy are being girlfriends here, which I'm not even trying, man. This island is already just blossoming with cute little relationships, which is kind of sad, considering that everyone here is a ghost. But hey, what can you do? Like they're gardening together. What? What? That's so cute. Okay, back to the build. Putting out some like random things. Gonna eat some revenge pie to get a bunch of trees and whatnot. I started another area where I'm putting fully grown trees eventually, just to make it easier. I'm putting them within the concrete because I think it would be cool that this island has been wiped out for quite some time at this point. So there are just trees and stuff sprouting outside of, like, between broken up pieces of brick and stuff. I think it looks cool that way. And of course, a million weeds. This is the first island that I've ever used this many weeds on. I'm gonna be real with you. I am an OG player I hate weeds as decorations normally, but I think this island is converting me to the side of decorating with weeds, which is weird to me because it's one of those things where I'm like, I will never do this, blah blah blah. But you can't say never. This is one of those instances of never say never because it might happen. And abandoned things are a thing that I like, so I don't know why I didn't think I would ever decorate with weeds. But hey, things happen sometimes. I also included a lot of footage of me putting paths like to connecting areas and stuff like that. Also looking for the very last flowers that I can find. Anyway, I'm putting down like a lot of roads and stuff to interconnect on the island. While I'm doing this build, I can never focus on one area at a time. It feels like I'm just not that kind of a person. I much prefer working on multiple things at once, which is why build videos are kind of odd to me. But, you know, I think I was working on this build while I was also working on the entrance build a little bit. So I have some footage that overlaps, kind of. But here I am adding more of a road just to make it make sense that there's a road there and to make it connect. Because I like my road paths to connect to actual things, so it seems like it was a functional thing at one point. And yeah, I don't know how cars would go up the ramps, but let's just pretend because it's an Animal Crossing island. Who really cares? I think too much. I think that's the thing. I think way too much about these things. Oh yeah, adding some more crosswalks, realizing that's the wrong kind of crosswalk, fixing it, going back and forth, popping balloons. It's always nice when they're bells. And we're getting closer and closer to the end of this build here, so before the outro, I just want to say thanks for watching. I have a bunch more videos coming out soon. When recording this, I have been editing a couple other videos also, and they will be coming out. Hopefully I can keep a weekly schedule now that I've just been actually editing things instead of just recording it. So anyway, once again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the outro. I had a lot of fun editing it, because I usually do. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.